Maze Technique class using the Butterfly Basic stamp set, which looks like this. And today we're making this lovely bright spring card, not in the typical vintage or grungy style that you would expect this stamp to be used for. So you will receive a pack if you made this class along with me, and in your pack you've got a spare piece of card. This is to punch out the little butterfly, stamp and punch out the little butterfly here. That's plenty big enough to fit in your punch. Then we have two pieces, one to fit the yellow, which goes on the inside of your card, and one that fits on the front, which is going to be mounted up on dimensionals. Okay, so what you need is a nice long clear block. So this one will do. This is clear block I, and you need 10, or you need the Subtles ink pads. So I've got all the Subtles ink pads here. I've used the whole Subtles family. Depending how closely you stamp them together will depend very much on how many lines you fit on your background card. So as you can see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've had to use some of the colours twice. Depending how closely you do it will very much depend on how many you do. So I'm just going to, it's quite straightforward, but I'm going to do it and I'm going to speed it up so this is a bit quicker for you. So I'll go quiet, I'll speed this part up, and the music will go a little bit louder. So the one thing to think about when you're doing this before I start is we're using this lovely stripy sort of chevron effect. I'm just going to mount up my butterfly while I'm here. And you're going to lay that across your clear block. Now it's really hard sometimes to get these photopolymer stamps to go straight, because they do bend. There's something really nice about them, but it's hard. So a little tip is lay it on your grid paper and use the lines of your grid paper to get it straight. So I'm lining up the base of the stamp with the grid paper like that. Then get your clear block, press it down, gently pick the stamp up, and then that should be straight. Then what I want you to do is get your paper, your white Whisper White cardstock, and lay it on the grid paper so that you can use the lines of the grid paper to make sure you get this stamp straight, and also stamp it straight, stamp it in the same direction every time so that your stamp is going all in this direction rather than some in this direction and some in this direction. So let me get ready to start. all the stamping done, what I would say is you've got an uneven gap top and bottom and you don't like it, just trim off a little bit of the extra, and if you don't like the edge piece you could trim off the edge there too. What you're going to do is also stamp just a couple of lines to the side here of the inside of your card. So if I just quickly grab clean and stamp some of the chevron pattern, I'll do a bit of pink as well. And then get my butterfly. Now I could use the darker one or the lighter one. I'm going to go darker. Punch out my little butterfly. Little glue dot in the middle of the butterfly's body on the reverse means that I can keep the little wings so that they have some dimension. And then I'm just going to simply glue that to the yellow So Saffron mat that's already been cut for you. I'm going to stick that to the inside of my card. I'm just going to realign my card here. Oops. And then I'm also going to get a lovely big smudge across it as well, for goodness sake, Michelle. Okay, so line this up, stick it down, and now I'm just going to stick the front piece on. So remember what I said, that on this card I've actually got a bit of dimension, so I'm going to use my dimensionals and plop plenty on the reverse. And if you want to be super thorough, you can cut some of these edge pieces, which are brilliant for this kind of technique. Love using up a whole sheet, makes me so happy. Finishing a sheet, I mean, I like to use up a whole finished sheet. Sometimes I end up with just dimensional sheets with just the edge pieces left. Not very often though. Okay, then I'm going to stick that on my card front. Centrally is best, but if you're me, we'll just take whatever we can. And then you've got your lovely die cut butterfly, which has already been cut out for you. A few little glue dots on the body. And then you can position that on the front of your card. Just make sure that's central if I press it down. There we go. And then that's a lovely card. It doesn't have a sentiment, so it's great for any occasion. And I actually think the colours lend themselves very much to a baby card, so you could change the butterfly if you wished. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed making that very simple but very different looking card. Thanks for watching.